The part of my story that I am going to share with you today is sad, is filled with a lot of pain. It shows how a narcissistic parent doesn't lack empathy. They do not have empathy at all. Pure absence of empathy. It shows how terrorized you feel and how horrified you are when around a narcissistic parent and what evil they are capable of doing. The experience that I'm about to share with you is very triggering. Whenever I bring it up, so many emotions come up for me. So I advise caution. Please keep your body relaxed, take pauses, and if your own memories come up, take a moment and then come back and watch the whole episode if you would like to. So this event is of the time when I was around 9 or 10. I was in 4th grade, a very young child. What used to happen at the time was my father would always come to pick us up from school around 4 p.m. in the evening and then would take us to our home on his motorcycle. One fine day when he arrived, he brought a bunch of books with him. Those books were really big and heavy. I don't know what they were about exactly. Probably it was something related to his office work, but they were really big and heavy. And at that time, I had my school bag. In India, we had those bags that would have clip locks, to lock the bag, and you would have to press those to open and access whatever is in it. What he did was he put those books in this bag, knowing that my bag is too small to hold those books and they can fall anytime. He still did that out of fear, out of terror, and being too young. I didn't know what to do. I was just afraid, and I was praying for my soul for not dropping these books, because I knew if that happened, he would curse the shit out of me, because that is what he used to do. He was extremely verbally abusive. So he put those books in my bag, my small bag that didn't have the capacity to hold them, and we are sitting behind him on his motorcycle, and then there he goes. After a couple of minutes, he now steps into the highway, national highway. This highway is for not only small vehicles but also big trucks carrying thousands of tons of material. I mean, this is the main road that connects the different parts of the state that I am from. So what happens eventually is, I kind of expected that, but what happens is one of the locks of my bag opens up and I could feel the terror coming up in my body. I couldn't ask him to stop, because then he would scold me for not handling the bag properly, even when it was beyond my control. And then he didn't stop. I don't know at that point if he was aware of what was happening with my bag or not, but he just goes on. And within a couple of minutes, the second lock also opens. And guess what happened? The books fell on the road, main highway, in the middle of it. He stops. He didn't console me. He didn't say, it's fine, I'll get down, don't move, or just get onto this side of the road, be safe, I'll get those books. No. He screamed and yelled at me and then asked me to get down immediately and get those books. He didn't get down, wasn't worried about my safety at all. He didn't give a damn. And this is the triggering part. I was so terrified, I was so dissociated, and I was so acting out of panic, fight response, that I just jumped to get those books. And it is at that moment a man appeared from nowhere who pulled me back, and I didn't know where he came from because he wasn't there before. Had he not pulled me back, my head would have been crushed by the truck that crushed the book instead. I still can feel the jerk in the body. It was really strong. He pulled me back, and it was a difference of some nanoseconds, some fractions. Had he not been there, I wouldn't have made it alive. And then he was watching it from the front mirrors of his motorcycle. He didn't get down. He wasn't shocked or crying, filled with remorse. This is what you would expect from your parent, because this is your own child who would have gotten killed so young, didn't know, was afraid of you. At least get down. I was terrified. I was so dissociated that I didn't know what happened to me, what was about to happen. This man who pulled me back said, wait, watch until all these trucks pass, and when you see the road is clear, then get the book. As if he knew what I was dealing with. He didn't go to my father and confronted him. No, he just said it, and then maybe it is dissociative amnesia. I don't remember where he went. I just can't recall it. So here is where it gets worse. I pick up the book and then take it back to put it in the bag. Instead of getting down, because he was completely aware of what was happening and what happened and what could have happened, nothing, no remorse, no shame, no concern, no guilt, no compassion, no empathy, and I can still feel the absence of it. Like, it just sometimes eats me up. Like, how can you? And then I put the book in it, and what he does is he still screams at me, still yells and cusses and curses, didn't stop, and screamed for me to quickly get on the bike because he was getting late. That terror, this is such a strong memory for me. I have worked on this memory, but it always surprises me, shocks me to my core when I think about it. When I think about the psychopath that was a part of my life. I'm thankful to that man. I don't know who he was. I'm thankful to God that he saved me, because otherwise I would have never been able to do what I'm doing, which is helping you to realize that you're not alone in your experiences, and the terror you have experienced, be it at the hands of your narcissistic parent, partner, or whosoever the narcissist was in your life, was real. These people are evil, and I'm not afraid of calling them evil, because someone who is truly evil can do this. Disorder or not, I don't give a damn about NPD and calling it a disorder and then justifying their behavior through it. No, I don't care. This is evil. My experiences clearly show, and I have thousands to share with you, but this one I thought, let's share it with you. Let me tell you how come I talk about narcissists so much, and is it that I make this stuff up? Do I read about it somewhere? No. Or have I been through this? I have been through this right from the beginning. I don't know why, but almost every single experience or relational interaction I've had with humans, almost all of them have been narcissistic or have involved narcissism in capacity. It's only now I am free of those, and I'm beyond thankful for that. If you have been through something like this, know that your experiences were real, because what they do later is they tell you lies, they gaslight you, and then you start questioning your own experiences, your own memories, especially if you struggle with dissociation. Your body shows you what happened, but you don't believe it because of the somatic disconnection. And you wonder, well, did I make that up? Was it really that bad? Yes, it was that bad. It was that bad. If your body screams it, like right now I'm talking about all of this and I'm sweating, so I know what is happening. I know my experience was real. I didn't make it up. I truly could have died at that moment, but it was that man who saved me, who pulled me back. Had he not done that, I wouldn't have been here. I wouldn't have been able to just make it. And that thought just is so painful to even think about. This was the experience that I had to share with you today. Nothing more about insights on why narcissists do this and why that. It was just something that I wanted to put out there. Of course, not to gain attention, even though we have this part, narcissistic abuse survivors, that always says, well, you're doing this to gain attention, aren't you? You're trying to gain sympathy, aren't you? But no, my soul knows I'm not doing that. And you might wonder, why do we have that part? Because we have been convinced that our emotions are irrational, or we are trying to act like a victim. Nothing is wrong. We should get over it. That is not the case, and our pain is real. And it is time for you, for me, for everyone who has been through something like this, to acknowledge that, to be that compassionate presence to our own selves we haven't had right from the beginning, unfortunately. It is a very lonely journey to not only survive something as horrible as we have survived, and then make sense of what happened to us. So my heart goes out for you. Take good care of yourself. Be there for yourself, and trust that it was as bad as it seems. With that, I would like to bring this episode to an end. I'll talk with you in the next one. Until then, let the healing begin and continue.